Welcome to my lecture number 16 on Fourier series and Fourier transform. In this video, we are going to discuss one important application of convolution property, and it is Hilbert transform. The Hilbert transform, you see, it is one kind of transformation, and it is through one system, process LTI system transformation kind of thing. So see, this is a LTI system. Right? Now if we apply one signal, input signal, that is suppose MT, right? And the output of the signal, and we will indicate at M hat T, and that is the impulse, that is the output of this Hilbert transform. And Hilbert transform, this impulse response h of t is given by 1 upon phi t, right? So we know that the output of LTI system is the convolution between the input signal and its impulse response. Okay, so we can write that m hat t or m cap t equals to the MT convolution with 1 upon pi t, right? So this one, we can write that this is m tau, and because we know that convolution between xt and ht is simply x of tau and h of t minus tau and d tau. Okay, so same thing we'll use here. So this is m tau, and this is your h of t and the tau. So 1 upon pi, pi is constant, that pi I can take outside, 1 upon pi, and this is t, t is replaced by t minus tau because h of t minus tau. So this is your t minus tau in denominator, that you need to indicate it with respect to tau for entire range, minus infinity to plus infinity. So this is the transformation. So you apply MT and you get the Hilbert transform, and you get the same cap t, and that is 1 upon pi, and it is minus infinity to infinity m tau t minus tau and d tau. And this transformation is having some useful characteristics that we need to discuss in this lecture. Okay. Now this 1 upon pi t, that is one signal, so the h of t, this is that we have considered that this is your h of t, right? So what is the Fourier transform of this h of t? Means we want to get h of j omega, and that thing we have discussed in past lectures. That Fourier transform of this signal we can compute as minus j signum of omega. J omega, j we can omit. Okay, you can write only omega, because the signum function is a real function, it is only omega, right? Now that is very easy to prove. Again, so quickly we can show this one using duality property. So we can understand that if the signal, okay, if the signal is the signum t in time domain. Okay, and that we can get from this kind of exponential decaying signal, this one and this one, and this is your e to the power minus at ut, and this one is minus e to the power plus at and u of minus t. So if I add these two and then limit, so this signum t is basically the limiting case, the a tends to 0 of these two, e to the power minus at ut and minus e to the power at and u of minus t. Is right? So the Fourier transform of this one, the signum t, that is Fourier transform, and you know that the Fourier transform of this one, its Fourier transform, you know that it is 1 upon a, its Fourier transform, okay, plus j omega, and for this one it is 1 upon a minus j omega. So if I combine these two, you will see that this is a minus j omega, a plus j omega. So easily we can see this one, that Fourier transform of signum t is limit a tends to 0 and linear combination of these two, this minus this, that you are getting, this is minus 2 j omega upon a square plus omega square. And if you put a tends to 0, then it is 0, it is minus 2y 2jy omega, okay, that we can write 2 by j omega. Okay, so this is your Fourier transform of signum t. Now if you use duality property, so you can use duality property. So you see, first of all, this is there, means signum t, if this is the signal, is Fourier transform, we have got 2 upon j omega. So using duality, so this is this signal, this shape in time domain. So omega is replaced by t. So jt, then its Fourier transform will be 2 pi times and x of minus j omega. Okay, so actually x of, this is the signum of minus j, or signum is a real function, so I write signum of omega only. Okay, so that these two will cancel out, and pi, we can divide both side pi and we can multiply both side j. So in that case, so this pi will come this side, it is 1 upon pi t, and that j will go that side. Okay, and signum of minus omega, I can write minus signum omega. So this is the Fourier transform that we discussed earlier. Okay, so this is the h of j omega, right? So now what is the Fourier transform of m cap t? So we need to understand Fourier transform of m cap t. So now using convert, because m cap t is mt convolution with 1 upon pi t, right? So using convolution property, okay, what we will get, the Fourier transform of m cap t, that will denote as m, capital M cap j omega. Okay, that will denote. So that is the Fourier transform of this one, that we know that we will call it m of j omega. and multiplied by Fourier transform of 1 upon pi t. And that we have got minus j signum of j omega. So only omega. Is it right? So this is the Fourier transform. So now we will try to understand this one. So this is minus j m of j omega and signum of omega, right? So what are the magnitude and phase? These two we'll try to understand, magnitude spectrum and phase spectrum. So magnitude of m cap j omega. So you see magnitude of this is j is signum is plus or minus 1. Okay, j is the imaginary term. So magnitude will remain same as magnitude of j omega. Okay, this is one case. And second one, angle of m cap j omega. Now, if I consider positive, omega positive, that time signum value is, so this signum omega equal to 1 for omega more than 0, and this is minus 1 for omega less than 0. Okay, so for more than 0, this is 1 and this is minus j. Okay, and minus j we can write e to the power minus j pi by 2, because e to the power minus j pi by 2, that is simply cos pi by 2 minus j sin pi by 2. By the theorem, e to the power j theta equals to cos theta plus j sin theta. So here theta is this one, or e to the power minus j theta equals to cos theta minus j sin theta, right? So this cos pi by 2 is 0, and this is j, and sin pi by 2 is 1. So this is minus j. So minus j we can write as e to the power minus j pi by 2. Similarly, the plus j we can write at e to the power plus j pi by 2. Okay, so if I replace this one minus j by e to the power j pi by 2, so whatever angle is there, okay, with that angle, so this is 90 degree is minus 90 degree is added. Okay, so angle of m plus m of j omega minus pi by 2, that is for omega more than 0, and for less than 0, so whatever angle is there, okay, angle of m of j omega, and now pi by 2 is added for omega less than 0. Is it right? So for positive side, the phase is delayed by pi by 2 for all the frequencies, a constant delay, constant phase delay. And on opposite side, it is simply opposite, means minus, it is minus, now it is plus pi by 2 is added. Okay. Now, if I consider a real signal mt, then we know that phase spectrum is odd. So in that case, so it is obvious that in right side, if it is subtracted by pi by 2, then negative side it will be added by pi by 2. So then again it will remain real. Okay. So this process is a Hilbert transform. So this is the effect that right side all the frequency are having a phase shift of minus pi by 2. Okay. Now we will take one example. Okay, the first example. If xt equals to cos omega naught t. So this is having one frequency, okay, that is omega naught radian per second. So obviously it's x hat t, it will be the same signal, real signal is there, and its phase is shifted by minus pi by 2. So this is cos, it will remain omega naught t, but phase lag of pi by 2. So be careful, it is subtracted here. Don't consider pi by 2 minus omega naught t, though it is same for this case. So this is simply, this is again, this is equals to cos pi by 2 minus omega naught t. So pi by 2 minus theta is sine theta. So sine omega naught t. Okay. So if I apply cos omega naught t in Hilbert transform, the output is sine omega naught t, 90-degree phase shift lag. Okay. Now using the spectrum also we can understand, because this capital X of j omega for this cos signal, you know that the spectrum is having two spike here, two delta function, one at plus omega naught, other one is minus omega naught, because this is half e to the power j omega naught t plus half e to the power minus j omega naught t. So this is shifted around omega naught plus beta omega naught. So this is 2 pi times del omega plus omega minus omega naught. So 2 is cancelled out. So you are getting pi del omega minus omega naught. And for second one, this one will get here. This is pi del omega plus omega naught. Right? Now, if I multiply, so what will be your x hat j omega? That we have said that it should be x of j omega times minus j signum of omega. Okay. Now, as this is, you see, this is what it is. This is your pi del omega minus omega naught plus pi del omega plus omega naught. This is for cos. And this one, okay, we can write in this form, minus j, we can write as 1 upon j. That will be easier to understand. So it is 1 upon j times signum of omega. Is correct? Now, so this is your positive frequency. When this is multiplied with this one, the sine omega naught is plus 1. So it is becoming only pi upon j del omega minus omega naught. Because that time sine of omega naught is 1. Because when this is this signal, this right side, sine omega naught is 1. Okay. This side is sine of omega. Okay. Now for negative side, what is happening? This is minus. So it is minus, and this is pi, j is multiplied here, pi by j, and del omega minus omega naught. And you see this is exactly same as the Fourier transform of sine omega naught t. Okay? Because sine omega naught t, you know that the sine omega naught t, it is 1 upon 2j e to the power j omega naught t minus 1 upon 2j e to the power minus j omega naught t. So this is the right shift, 1 upon 2j, so 2 cancel out because 2 pi is multiplied here. So pi by j del omega minus omega naught, this is minus sign, this is pi by j del omega, this is plus, okay, sorry. Okay. So it's clear. So if you apply cos omega naught t in the Hilbert transform, we will get sine omega naught t. And same thing we will get, similar thing, if xt is sine omega naught t, in that case x cap t will be sine omega naught t minus pi by 2. That is important. Okay. And so this is, I can write sine of minus theta is sine theta. So minus I can multiply here. you can write minus sine of pi by 2 minus omega naught t, and that we can write sine pi by 2 minus theta is cos theta. So minus cos omega naught t. So you see here minus sign. So in spectrum also you will get the same thing. No? So from spectrum also you will get the similar result, because except x of j omega, for the sine it is that you have got that pi by j del omega minus omega naught minus pi by j del omega plus omega naught. So when you will try to compute this x cap of j omega, you need to multiply this thing pi by j del omega minus omega naught minus pi by j del omega plus omega naught with this just minus j sign of omega, that you need to multiply. Okay, now you see j will cancel out, is minus, so positive side it is minus sign is there and sign is 1, so it is simply minus pi del omega minus omega naught, and right side is minus plus j cancel out, but sine of omega naught is minus 1, that's how it is again minus pi del omega plus omega naught. So you can take minus common, pi del omega minus omega naught plus pi del omega plus omega naught, and that is exactly same as the negative sign of Fourier transform of cos omega naught t. Right. Now third, if you consider one complicated signal, so like if I consider xt equals to, so 2 sine 2t and suppose cos square 4t. See, this is a signal. Don't convert directly that sine will become cos, sine will become minus cos, and cos will become simply sine. That may not work. Okay, because for each component, each frequency component is phase shifted by 90 degrees. So you need to consider single frequency. So you need to expand it first. Okay. So this, okay, what I can do, the sine 2t, this 2 cos square 4t, that we can replace. Okay. So sine 2t, 2 cos square theta is 1 plus cos 2 theta, means cos 8t, 42 into 4 is 8. Now I can find that it is sine of 2t plus sine of 2t times sine of 8t. So again I can multiply this one, I can consider, sorry, it is cos, no? So I can multiply 2 here and I can divide 2 here. So it is becoming now sine 2t, and this is half, this is sine a cos b. Okay, so this is sine of a plus b means 10t, and minus, because cos is more, half sine of 8 minus 2 is 60. Now you see these are single frequency component. This frequency is 2, this frequency is 10, this frequency is 6. Now easily I can get x hat t. That will become, now this will become minus cos 2t. This is become negative minus half. This is become cos 10t. This minus 1 plus. This is half. This is cos 60. Then you can combine. Okay, you can get some better result. So this half minus half, and this is cos 10t minus cos 60. Okay, this is twice sine. Okay, I think that you can do sine 1680, and sine, this one is sine 40 sine 2t. Is it right? And I think we can get this sign. Be careful of this one. Probably it will be positive. Okay, you will check. This is a simple thing. So this kind of simplification you can get. It's okay. So, but main idea is that first expand it to this side. So you see here, it is not, it's 2t. It's not exactly that it is cos 2t both here. So this is not common. Okay, you may not get that one. Fine. Now we'll consider some properties of Hilbert transform. Briefly we'll discuss. Hilbert transform. So first property. So already we have seen that one, that magnitude spectrum, no, magnitude spectrum of this m of omega or m of j omega, its magnitude spectrum, and magnitude spectrum of this one, they are same. So it is same magnitude spectrum. If magnitude spectrums are same, then obviously energy of mt and m cap t, that should be same, because energy is simply integration of magnitude of m of j omega, that square, and d omega in frequency domain we can consider. Okay, so 1 upon 2 pi probably. Okay, mass infinity. So in this case both are same, so obviously area under the square curve would remain same, so energy will remain same. So this is one important property. And second, suppose if mt, if I consider one Hilbert transform, then I will get m hat t, right? Now if I start with m hat t, then again if I take Hilbert transform, what will get? So you see here phase shift is 90 degree, minus 90 degree. So here what you will get? You will phase shift of minus 90, again minus 90, minus 180 degree. So minus 180 phase shift means minus sign is multiplied. So you will get minus sign of mt. Right? So this implies that, so m double hat, if I consider m hat again hat, means then we'll get minus mt. Right? Third property. Okay. There are lots of properties, so I'll be discussing only very few. Now suppose there's one signal xt, some modulation kind of thing, that mt cos omega ct. So in modulation, this is one AM modulation, DSBSC modulation, and if this frequency, okay, this is a low frequency, it's containing low frequencies, and omega c is very high frequency. Okay, so this is low frequency spectrum, so it may not have a single frequency. Okay, but this is a single frequency and which is having a high frequency, right? So you know that spectrum, if suppose this is the spectrum for capital M of j omega, so it is minus capital W to plus capital L to minus capital W. Then it is translated as omega c and minus omega c. Okay, here you will get these two spectrum. So this is your capital X of j omega, this modulated signal, its spectrum with respect to omega. Fine. Now, if I take Hilbert transform, so what is the Hilbert transform of this signal? Then you will see that we can write it is simply again mt, same mt times, and this is replaced by sine omega ct. Interesting. So no hat is associated here, only this cos is now changing to sine omega ct. Now this is possible, so some logic we can understand this one. Okay, so what is the Fourier transform of this one? So Fourier transform of suppose say x hat t. What we can write? This is nothing but capital X of j omega, because it is Fourier transform of this one, and you should multiply minus j sine omega. Correct? So what is happening? So this is multiplication. Minus j is multiplied, sine is this side. So you see this signal function positive 1. So total this one I want to understand. So minus j this side, and this is this one. So this is the function is plus j. It is minus j sigma from omega. So this entire spectrum is multiplied by minus j, right side. And entire spectrum, this one is multiplied with plus j. That's simple. Okay. Right? So you will see that whenever it is shifted, this is, we are getting these things, no? So there is no problem at all. So we are getting that separate things. But whenever they are overlapping, then it will be having some problems. So after shifting, if there is a gap between these two, some dead zone kind of thing, zeros, then there is no issues at all. You will get the same m of omega, and it is these things. Okay, I think I can make you understand this one, because x of j omega, you see capital X of j omega is simply pi m of omega minus omega c plus pi m of omega plus omega c. When this is multiplied, right, minus j is multiplied here for this one. So this is for positive. So x hat j omega, and you see minus j is multiplied here. So, or I can write it this 1 upon j. Okay, same thing. 1 upon j sine omega. So 1 upon j is multiplied. So pi by j, and it is m omega minus omega c, and sine of omega is 1. Fine. And for this one, it is the negative side. So this is minus, because sine omega is minus 1, and by j, it is m omega plus omega c. And you see this spectrum, you will get this pi by j is multiplied with minus sign. It is same as the Fourier transform of mt sine omega c. Right? So it's very easy. So this is possible. But if they're overlapping, it's coming closer, no, then it is problematic. So this is, it is coming here, and this one is there. Then resulting signal will have some different shape. No, the resulting this one Okay, and so this shape is totally different, and in that case the right side is multiplied by this one, 1 upon j only 1, and left side will be 1 upon j minus 1. Then you won't get the same thing. Okay, fine. So same thing. So if it is xt is mt sine omega ct, then x hat t is again mt, and this is, you know that sine omega ct, its Hilbert transform is minus cos, so minus cos omega ct. That's simple. Provided mt is band limited low frequency signal and sine omega c is very high frequency compared to the highest frequency of the message signal. Right. So these are the few properties of Hilbert transform. Now we can have a quick application of Hilbert transform. One application is SSB generation. What is SSB? Single sideband modulation. So whatever we discussed, this is one MT sine omega ct or MT cos omega ct. These are double sideband because you see the spectrum. So if this was the message, okay, and after modulation you are getting right side double side. So this is one side, this is another side. Again this one, okay. That's why it is called double sided. So you see this is only replica of this one. So only one sideband is sufficient. It will carry the same information. So if I have this kind of, or if I have this is, okay, or this is called upper sideband. I'll call it, this is upper sideband. Or if I have this lower sideband, lower frequency side, then it is fine. It will carry the same information because this is your exact positive frequency spectrum, and that is intact here. Then it is sufficient to carry the information of the message signal. So two sidebands are not required. So one side, single sideband is sufficient to carry whole information. Okay, so in this way we can reduce the transmission power. Now how to generate this SSB signal? So there we can use the Hilbert transform. Okay, now to get the upper sideband, so that y, I'm writing y USB T, what we will do, this message signal, so first is multiplied with cos omega ct, okay, you will get double sideband. Now if I take subtraction and if I take Hilbert transform this message signal m cap t, then if I modulate it with sine, we will get upper sideband. And similarly this lower sideband, if I want to get, then this mt cos omega ct, now you need to add this m hat t sine omega ct. And I think it is not very difficult to understand how we'll get upper side and lower side. So let us see quickly. So you see mt cos omega ct, no? First of all, if it is mt cos omega ct, and suppose I'll consider this is the spectrum, I'll consider this kind of spectrum. It will be easy to understand. This is your omega, This is for capital M of j omega. Fine. Then if this is your signal xt, then capital X of j omega is around this omega c. You will, it is shifted here, this one, okay. Similarly this one minus omega c, like this, okay. This is with respect to this omega. Now what about m hat t and cos omega ct? Okay, that we need to understand. Now the Fourier transform of m hat t sin omega ct, okay, that we want to calculate. So whatever the spectrum of this one, capital MF, there, that I will considering that. So capital M hat t, its spectrum, we are considering M cap j omega. Okay, so that is now, so it is pi by j M cap omega minus omega c, is correct, and minus pi by j M cap omega plus omega c. Right, now what is your M cap j omega? So that is your M of j omega times minus j signum of omega, right? So that if I replace here, so what I will get? So this is j cancel out. So and it is okay. I write first m by j. So this m cap, now it is shifted omega minus omega c. So everywhere. So this is m j. Okay. For sake of simplicity, I consider that m of j omega is real. So I will not carry j. Okay. So m of omega minus omega c, and this is multiplied by minus j signum again omega minus omega c. So this is the first term minus pi by j, again same thing, capital M omega plus omega c, and multiplied by minus j signum omega minus omega c. Okay. Now you see this positive. This side is, it is for positive side. No, this is positive side, and sign is 1. But again, this is not always. So this is the main thing. So sine of omega minus omega c, how it look like? So that is sine omega c is this one. Okay, and minus j sine omega c. So okay, so this is this one, and so this is when it is shifted at omega c, you will see these things here. So this side is positive 1 and this side is negative 1, and that is your signum function at omega minus omega c. And for left side, this is at omega plus, at omega plus omega c. Again you will get same thing. It's shifted here only, but you will get the same one. So this is your signum function at omega plus omega c. So here is the main idea. Suppose if I consider this upper side as mu of omega, and this lower side if I consider ml of omega. So actually this is your ml mu of omega, and this is your ml of omega. Okay, so it is shifted here, omega minus omega c, this is also omega minus omega c. And now you see the difference here. So this is the lower side. Okay, I'll consider this is the upper. Okay, again I'll consider this upper. Same upper, it's shifted here. So omega plus omega c, and this is your m lower, omega minus omega c plus omega c. Okay, so if I consider in that way, so this capital M of omega minus omega c is having these two component, and then it is multiplied separately. So you see here what is happening. So j is cancelling out, minus pi. Minus pi is fine. Now this one is replaced by mu omega minus omega c plus ml omega minus omega c. Okay, in that case, so when this is multiplied with signum function, then it is plus 1. But when this is multiplied with signum function, then it is minus 1, because this is the minus 1. So what you will get? You will get mu omega minus omega c, but this is minus ml omega minus omega c. Correct? And this is minus sign. The minus sign, and what is this? So this is minus plus. Okay, j cancel out. This is plus, and this is pi. And again, in the same way, we can consider. So this one is multiplied with 1, and this is multiplied with minus 1. So ml. So first one I will consider mu. Mu is minus 1. So this is minus mu omega plus omega c, and ml is multiplied with plus sign. Right? So you see in the xf, simply xf, so means mt cos omega ct, this one, and in Fourier transform of mt cos omega ct, no? So I'll write here only, so that capital X of j omega. So this is m omega minus omega c plus pi times. Okay, so this is pi times m omega minus omega c. That we can write two terms, mu omega minus omega c plus ml omega minus omega c, and this is plus again pi lower side, mu omega plus omega c minus ml, it is a plus sign again, it is omega plus omega c. That's simple. So two components. So this two component is basically, it will give you m of omega minus omega c, and this is m of omega plus omega c. Okay, now you see, if I simply subtract these two, what you will get? If you subtract these two, so mu omega minus omega c, and this mu minus omega c, this minus a plus, and to remain there. Okay, but this one is plus, and it again minus, this will cancel out. So ml will cancel out. Similarly, you see ml is also cancelling out this side. So what is happening? you will get the Fourier transform of these two. So this Fourier transform of subtraction of these two, only you will get 2 times of mu omega minus omega c, okay, and mu omega plus omega c. Fine. So only upper side band only you will get, and lower side band you will get if you add these two. If you just add these two, say mu will cancel out, and so only ml will remain there, and you will get lower side band. Right? So this is the idea. So it could be discussed in communication class in detail, but this is one application of Hilbert transform. Okay. So I'll stop here today for this video. Next class we will continue other properties of Fourier transform. Okay. Please keep watching, and if you like, please subscribe my channel. Thank you.